Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the budget bikes that run 400,000 miles easily. Number 7. Yamaha V-Star 650. The Yamaha V-Star 650 is the kind of budget cruiser that makes you question why anyone spends big on chrome and noise. This thing just works reliably, affordably, and for a mind-blowing distance. We're talking 400,000 miles without the melodrama. With a used price tag hovering around $3,000 to $4,000, it doesn't punch your wallet in the face. And yet, it gives you that classic cruiser feel with enough steel and soul to ride cross-country or just down to the diner for waffles. Its air-cooled V-twin engine is old-school simple, which is exactly what you want if you plan on riding forever. No fancy electronics waiting to short-circuit your bank account. Maintenance is DIY-friendly too. Adjusting valves won't require a PhD in rocket science or a second mortgage. Riders who have clocked well over 200,000 miles on stock engines swear by the V-Star's reliability like it's a religion. And yes, the shaft drive means fewer chains to oil and more miles to ride. Parts, cheap and everywhere. Oil changes don't cost more than a couple of good burgers. Insurance is low. Overall, the Yamaha V-Star 650 proves you don't need a $15,000 touring beast to ride into the sunset. You just need a solid bike, a good wrench, and the willingness to trust a machine that's outlived more sports bikes than it can count. Number 6. Kawasaki Vulcan 900. The Kawasaki Vulcan 900 is like that dependable coworker who shows up early, never complains, and somehow manages to look cool doing it. This bike isn't just affordable, it's absurdly capable of going the distance. Riders across the US have racked up over 300,000 to 400,000 miles on these without ever needing engine swaps or therapy sessions. You can snag a well-kept used Vulcan for around $4,000 to $5,000 and it'll still have plenty of life left in those pistons. What makes the Vulcan 900 a marathon champ is its liquid-cooled V-twin engine. Smooth, efficient, and easy to maintain. The thing doesn't overheat, doesn't scream for attention, and just glides. It feels bigger than a 650 but without the fuel-guzzling drama of a heavyweight cruiser. And that fuel economy, expect somewhere in the 40s per gallon. That means more road, less gas station small talk. The belt drive is another win. It's quieter, cleaner, and requires less maintenance than a chain. Comfort-wise, it's built to eat up miles. Wide seat, relaxed posture, decent wind protection with an aftermarket windshield. It's cruiser life without the chiropractor bills. Overall, the Kawasaki Vulcan 900 doesn't need hype. It's a workhorse wrapped in classic cruiser styling. It's a bike that lets you ride from coast to coast and still has enough left in it to take you back. For a few grand, you're getting a long-haul companion that's shockingly good at playing the long game. Number 5. Honda Nighthawk 750. The Honda Nighthawk 750 is the motorcycle equivalent of that one uncle who never ages, never breaks down, and always knows how to fix your leaky sink. Built with Honda's no-nonsense engineering, this bike is a poster child for low-maintenance longevity. With a price tag often under $4,000 for clean used models, it's one of the cheapest tickets to 400,000 miles of pure mechanical zen. At the heart of it is Honda's indestructible inline-4 engine, smooth, bulletproof, and borderline immortal. This isn't some fragile high-strung sport bike engine. This thing just chugs along decade after decade like it's trying to outlive the planet. It doesn't leak, doesn't burn oil, and if you change the fluids and check the valves every now and then, it'll probably pass you down to your grandkids. There's no fuel injection here, just simple carbs. And that's a plus. Fewer sensors, no ECU tantrums, just good old-fashioned reliability. Maintenance costs are laughably low. Chain, oil, tires, repeat. Parts are still around, and you won't need a treasure map or dealership prayers to find them. Overall, the Honda Nighthawk 750 is one of those rare machines that delivers serious mileage without making a scene. It doesn't brag, it doesn't flex, it just works. Number 4. Suzuki TU250X. The Suzuki TU250X is proof that small displacement doesn't mean small potential. It's lightweight, it's friendly, and it will outlast your assumptions and probably your car. Riders have documented these little singles running over 200,000 miles without so much as a whimper, and with obsessive care, they can flirt with 400,000. All this durability comes wrapped in a retro package that you can often pick up for $2,000 to $3,000 used. That's pocket change for a bike with this much grit. Its fuel-injected, air-cooled single-cylinder engine is ridiculously simple. One cylinder, two valves, zero drama. It's like a sewing machine that does 60 miles an hour and still sips fuel like it's rationing for the apocalypse. Sure, it's not built for freeway brawls, but for everyday commuting, weekend cruising, and let's just ride because weekend days, it's perfect. Maintenance, practically non-existent. Valve checks are a breeze, oil changes take minutes. The TU250X is the kind of bike you can wrench on in your garage without swearing or Googling, "Why does my engine sound like a blender?" Overall, the Suzuki TU250X is a budget warrior. It doesn't pretend to be fast, but it absolutely excels at being forever. If you want a charming little machine that goes the distance on pennies, this is the bike you marry, not date. Number 3. Kawasaki Versys 650. The Kawasaki Versys 650 is what happens when a commuter bike and an adventure bike fall in love and have an overachiever. It's not just versatile, it's absurdly capable, and more importantly, it's one of the few budget-friendly bikes that laughs in the face of mileage limits. Riders have pushed these past 300,000 miles with basic maintenance, and if you treat it right, 400,000 isn't a dream, it's a goal. Used models hover around $4,000 to $5,000, making it a serious bargain for what it offers. Its liquid-cooled parallel twin is a gem, smooth, fuel-efficient, and tougher than rush-hour traffic. Kawasaki didn't overcomplicate it, and that's the genius. It runs forever, starts every time, and keeps its cool whether you're lane splitting through city mess or cruising mountain curves. What really sets the Versys apart is how little it asks from you. Valve intervals are generous, chain maintenance is easy, and nothing ever seems to go catastrophically wrong. You can ride it every day all year across any terrain short of quicksand, and it just shrugs and asks for more. It's also surprisingly comfortable. Upright seating, great suspension, and enough wind protection to avoid turning your torso into a sail. Overall, the Kawasaki Versys 650 isn't flashy, but it's fiercely loyal. It's a blue-collar machine with white-collar brains, efficient, capable, and annoyingly hard to kill. If you want a bike that keeps going long after your patience does, this is the one. Number 2. Honda Shadow 750. The Honda Shadow 750 is the kind of cruiser that doesn't try too hard, but ends up outliving everything else in the garage. It's old-school reliable, built like a tank, and smoother than your uncle's pickup lines at a barbecue. You can often find a solid used one for around $3,000 to $4,000, which is basically highway robbery for a bike that can coast well past the 300,000-mile mark. And yes, with enough oil changes and valve checks, it can flirt with 400,000. The V-twin engine is liquid-cooled and mellow, which is exactly what makes it such a mileage monster. It's not tuned for drama, it's tuned for consistency. The shaft drive is a huge bonus here too. No chain maintenance, no sprocket swaps, just ride and repeat. Fuel economy is usually in the mid-40s miles per gallon, which adds up to long, relaxed rides without a constant need to refuel or refinance your life. It's low, it's comfortable, and it doesn't beat up your back on long hauls. It's got that classic cruiser look without demanding a classic cruiser budget. And when something does wear out, which won't be often, parts are everywhere and they're dirt cheap. Seriously, you can find replacement mirrors for less than a fancy sandwich. Overall, the Honda Shadow 750 is about as dependable as gravity. It won't win drag races or steal hearts at the bike night, but it'll still be running strong long after flashier bikes have been turned into garage decor. If you want a chill cruiser that refuses to quit, this is your forever ride. Number 1. Suzuki SV650. The Suzuki SV650 is the budget sport bike that decided to outlive everyone's expectations and then just kept going. It's lightweight, nimble, and way too fun for something you can grab used for around $3,000 to $4,000. But the real kicker, riders have clocked over 300,000 to 400,000 miles on these bikes with nothing more than oil changes, valve checks, and a little mechanical respect. That's commuter reliability with weekend thrill levels of fun baked in. The secret sauce is the liquid-cooled V-twin engine. It's punchy without being dramatic and durable without being boring. It has the kind of power delivery that makes you smile without constantly checking your speedometer like it's a probation officer. And it's practically unkillable. The engine design is straightforward, the parts are plentiful, and the maintenance doesn't require a trust fund or a degree in sorcery. Fuel economy hovers around 50 miles per gallon, and the riding ergonomics land somewhere between aggressive and I can still walk after this ride. It's a practical daily bike that can moonlight as a canyon carver or a weekend warrior. Chain maintenance is basic. Parts everywhere, aftermarket support, a buffet. Overall, the Suzuki SV650 is the everyman's performance bike that quietly outperforms more expensive machines over time. It's not trying to be flashy or intimidating, it's just trying to run forever. And spoiler alert, it probably will. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.